Department spokeswoman, Fox News contributor. Marie, how you doing? And good morning to you
good morning.
Back there in Washington. What do you think they can do together?
Well, listening to what Rex Tillerson just said, that sounds an awful lot like something John Kerry would have said. Our policy that we've said many times was we'll work with Russia when it's in our interest to do so, and we'll oppose them when they do things like invade Crimea, invade eastern Ukraine. So there are places you can work together, certainly, but there are outstanding issues that are of great concern. Not just Crimea, not just Ukraine, what they're doing in Syria, helping Assad bomb hospitals, but also this interference in the election. You know, back home, what you've been covering so much, the domestic politics surrounding Russia, Trump's inability to criticize them over anything, it seems. I think this is all swirling, not just in foreign policy, but in domestic politics back here, too. And Tillerson has a fine line to walk, I think, in this relationship.
And we'll see how fine that is. Sebastian Gorka said he characterized the whole relationship, reflecting on your time in the Obama administration, the State Department, the following way. Give this a quick listen from last night.
It's ironic, isn't it, that the last administration that whispered to Medvedev, that had their own reset button, that saw Secretary Clinton approve the sale of 20% of our uranium to Russia, that they're not the ones that created the problem, but we are.
They've got their argument. But
I have
again,
mine, too.
I come back to my original question. You know, they're giving this an effort here to see what they can do together. And there's a thinking that if you can pull Russia away from China, even just a little bit, or pull Russia away from its relationship with Iran, even just a little bit, then perhaps you've got a lane in which you can get things done. What do you think of that?
Right. Well, a number of different administrations have tried that. Remember President George W. Bush looking into Putin's soul and seeing into his soul and seeing good things. So there are places we can work together. On the Iran nuclear deal, we work together. On environmental issues, we work together. But I think the Trump administration needs to be very clear-eyed and realistic about whether you can pull Russia away from Assad. Can we use Russia to try and get a political resolution in Syria? Sure. But we shouldn't be naive. And I am concerned that President Trump seems really unwilling or unable to criticize Russia over anything. It's actually quite bizarre to me.
We'll see about that. I mean, look, it's 3.5 weeks in, okay? I mean, you know what his objective was. He said it a year ago in the campaign trail. We're going to try and figure out how we can work together. Now, bring it back home here for a moment. Do you believe the intelligence community is undermining this president and this administration?
I don't. And I served at CIA for 6 years before I went to the State Department. The intelligence community, especially at the high levels, prides itself on being apolitical, on presidents of both parties. And I saw that Wall Street Journal story this morning. I think it was pretty thinly sourced, and I believe that the intelligence community is acting as it always does. Look, are there people that are concerned about...
They push back on that, as you just heard John Roberts reporting in the interview with Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
That's right. I do think people are concerned in the intelligence community, though, about,
I understand
about some of these issues.
Do you think that you were served well in your time on behalf of the intelligence community, or do you feel like you were burned a time or two?
I think certainly when I served at CIA under Republican and Democratic administrations that it is an amazing place to work. We served both administrations very well. I do think the intelligence community over the past 10 years has really become a political lightning rod. Think back to the enhanced interrogation techniques, extraordinary rendition, all through the bin Laden raid. So they've really been a political punching bag, and I don't think that that's good for the intelligence community or our nation's security. And I do think that President Trump has done some of that. I do.
Just to nail it down, you were never burned.
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
Okay. We'll jog the memory next time. Marie, thanks for coming in today.
What am I forgetting?
Not a darn thing. Not a darn. I wanted to get your reaction here to figure out what this relationship is right now and what it will likely be in the future. I think it's a fascinating development to watch. So thank you for your input. Marie Harf there in Washington, D.C. Thanks. 20 past the hour now.
You got to watch that Bill Hemmer, a master questioner. He always knows something the rest of us don't know.
We'll see whether we get something from it.
Okay, well, coming up.